afternoon, everybody. And I did it again. Hold on. My husband even reminded me, and then I forgot to put my earpiece on. There we go. Get the power button on there. All right. Then I'll get my screen up so I can catch up with everybody. Hi, Danielle. Daniel, sorry, I do that again. I'm reading through all the names in a hurry. Daniel, Zayamara, Cheryl, Rebecca, Sonia. Welcome, everybody. Glad you could join me. I'm running behind as usual. Hello, Leah. Hi, Mary. Teresa, Carol. Yay, I love seeing all these faces popping on. Let me know. We've had a few newbies here lately, so if this is your first time joining us, make sure and let us know. We love first-time visitor. We love everyone who shows up, but it's always fun to have those first-time visitors on there as well. Watching from Wisconsin. Hi, Lori. Florida Crafty Girl. So that is your first time. I didn't think I recognized that name on there, but there's so many that I wasn't sure if I missed you. Welcome. Glad you could join us today. And Mary, another first timer. Yay, so exciting. All right, so real quick before we get started too far, I'm going to give a few more minutes for people to join in, but especially since we have some newbies on here, make sure and leave lots of comments. Feel free to click the share button and let us know. All of those count as an entry for a $15 gift card here at the end of our live. Yay, Jan, first time, and hi from Australia. So glad you could join us. All right. Oh, Sonia, glad you could make it then that you aren't working. All right, so okay. I feel like my camera is, I don't think I tightened it quite enough, so I might have to adjust that one or two times, but I'll tighten it when I turn around. I just don't want to mess with it anymore. So we're doing our normal live today. I know last week I mentioned we had a new release coming the end of this week. Sadly, that had to get pushed out one more week, but it's worth the wait, I promise. We just got to get everything just right. We had some delays from the manufacturer. There's still just, it's 2020. I mean, what else can we say? So the bad news is the release got pushed one week, but I do have permission on Thursday. We're going to be making a card with the new release. So you get to have a little bit of a sneak peek of the release that will be coming next week. And next week, we're going to take the week off from lives. We have another event, another online just vendor sort of thing that's going next week. So Lee and I were just both like, we can't, we can't do all of it next week. So we're gonna take one week off. So we'll have this week, and then we're taking. But even though we won't have lives next week, there will still be the fun new release that you can make sure and check out. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and show you. We're gonna be playing today. You probably saw the little sample. And where did I put that now? Oh, there it is. Good. I keep a little printout because I don't have the actual card in front of me and I have not actually made it. So as I'm being inspired by a card by someone else, in today's case, it's Julie Ebersole. I think that's how you say her name. If someone knows better, make sure and correct me. And she's actually kind of a neighbor of mine. She lives out not that far from where I live, a ferry ride away, of course. But I kind of think of her as my Washington State neighbor. So kind of fun. And I love the two cards she created that we're going to kind of be inspired by today. We're using, this is a little bit of an older release. It's called Hello with a Bouquet. Here's a little peek at what that die looks like. And it's super intricate and super pretty and super fun. Um, but part of why I wanted to use this and show you, I don't know how many people are aware of something that happens a lot in this industry, and that's theft of property to companies in China. So it's kind of prevalent in all of the stamping companies. There's companies in China that will steal a design, recreate it, sell it for a fraction of what, because it's not ethically made, it's really crappy quality. It's not good, but they'll sell them for $1 or $2, whereas what we sell these for is based on what we pay, for them to be well made and high quality and work really well. Um, but this one in particular, we see this one quite often, and because we take our stamp photos at an angle, part of that is for that very reason. But when you see the fake one of this, it looks wonky and diagonal. So it looks like the letters kind of start big and then go small, and it's crooked, and it just doesn't look right. So I thought it would be good to use this today. So in case you ever come across the photo of that one and think, why would anyone like that or why would anyone want that? This is the real deal. This is the good one. This is what it should look like, and I can show you how beautifully it cuts. And that's always kind of a red flag. If you see something that looks too cheap and too good to be true, or, I think a lot of people even just honestly, they're buying used stamps and they think they're getting the real one. But if you ever look and you notice something like that, that they're crooked or something isn't right, or they're just really bad quality, they probably aren't ours. We do the best we can to take those down, but those companies are all bigger, and it's kind of like playing whack-a-mole. You take one down and it just pops up somewhere else. So we kind of do the best that we can. But you guys can help if you see those out there, to make sure and report them or block them if you see sell sites like on Amazon and that kind of thing. So anyway, we are going to use that die so you can see just how beautiful it's meant to be in its original, proper, good form. So Judith, there are not very many companies in the US that manufacture dies. So our stamps are made in the US, but our dies are manufactured. Kinnery knows all that stuff. I don't really know but I know she's worked really hard to find a high quality, ethical um, production to get them made there, and to get them the quality that she wants to. So it's kind of, and then some of them, it's so cost prohibitive because I think, like I said, I think there's only one company here, and um, so it would be really great if there were more companies that would do that as well. So, all right, I'm going to go ahead and flip this around here, and let's see if we can get this started. And I will tighten a little more on this time so that I don't have to worry about it moving while we work, of course, hopefully anyway. Okay, and I think I went a little far, but that's okay. I think that's good enough. So we're going to use some pattern paper from our Altenew collaboration, the Celebrate collection. I'm going to move this up out of the way here real quick. And here's my quick little photo of the two cards we're going to make. And I just thought it was so fun and unique to cut this die out of pattern paper and then use those pretty letters in the middle of the basic version. So I thought there we go. Leah's got the better answer on die producers in the US. That's why we don't have them manufactured here. All right, so of note here on this die, this is all one piece except for this one little tiny bit there that's a separate piece. So if you get this die, do be careful not to lose that little piece because it's kind of important. And I had narrowed down to one of two pattern papers I was going to use here. And I keep all my scraps saved in here. And I'm kind of thinking, now I'm undecided on which. I really think I'm going to go with, this one here because I think for the letters it'll be fun having the black outline and a little more specific detail. So we'll give this one a try and see how it goes. That one I think would be quite lovely too. So I was really torn on, I don't know, and I'm still undecided. I only had one sheet of each one left, so I was trying to decide which one do I want to do. And this one's a little bit of a tighter pattern. No, I'll stick with my first. Look at me being all indecisive. This is probably half of what takes me more time than anything when I'm card making, is just trying to decide, what do I want to do? All right, and the nice thing is here, because you can kind of see that hello through there, I can kind of center this somewhere that I really like, where it looks like the hello word is gonna show up there. So I'm going to tape this in place, and then I'm also going to tape this little bitty center of the O in place as well. I could probably just cut it afterwards, but it's just easier to get it on there, and I'm going to kind of just squish it in there so it'll hold it in place. And then let's pull my die cut machine over here. I'm going to trim a little of the extra off of the paper. And I die cut this, I've die cut this one many times before without a metal shim or anything else. So I'm just going to go with that on this. It is an intricate die, so my plates are still fairly new. If you look on here, they're not super duper warped. They're still pretty flat. So if your plates were really warped or you hadn't rotated a lot, you might find that you need to use a metal shim, but I'm going to do this without, and we'll see how that goes. Okay, and just like I expected, look how easy those are popping off. All right, so I do want to make sure and save, where'd it go? There's my, I want to save my letters here from this. Otherwise, I don't really need anything from the cutout bits of this because we're just going to use the positive. I'm going to set that there. I'm going to just use my tape there to pull the center of that O out of there. Come on, there we go. And I'm going to keep this one off to the side because I know we will be needing that. And then save the tape here. And here's my little poking tool. There we go. Look at look at how beautiful that is. I really didn't even have to hardly pop. There's a couple little bits in there that I can see, but for the most part, you really can't see them on the front because it's a busy enough pattern. I'm kind of having to turn over to the back and find them there. And even still, I just touch them with my finger and they pretty much fall out. I don't really even have to poke them with my poking tool. So let's save that there and make sure not to use that little, lose that little center of the O there. Let's save my little bit of purple tape to reuse that as well. Get that out of the way for a second. And then you can sit and poke all of those out. But this is a Spellbinder's tool-in-one, and it's got these little brushes on it, which is really, really handy for this, for getting all of the little extra pieces out of there. There'll be a couple little miss, the really small ones, but that's pretty easy. Now I can just kind of sit and poke those couple and get them out of the way. And most of them I can see pretty quick here, but a quick way to, yeah, see, and there we go. We've got them all out. All right, get all of my trash here. Now all of a sudden the static electricity is kicking in, and all right. And then we just need to do the exact same thing from white cardstock. Then we'll get both of these die cut at the same time and just be ready to move on with our card. And I hear our garbage truck coming by out there. So, and where did I just put? I knew I was going to do this too. Lost. Oh, you know what? Uh-oh. I have a funny feeling. Yep, and I can hear it jingling in there too, I think. Oh boy. I think I just threw away my little O from the circle. Okay, I'm going to dig for that in a little bit. I fortunately have one cut out already. I can't believe I did that. It's funny because I was poking it out and I thought, you know what? I need to be really careful not to throw that away. So I'm going to cut this. I have a spare center already cut out because I just had it hanging around. So I'm going to cut this and then I'll dig out my center of my O a little later from the middle here. Goodness, that's the only dangerous thing about a separate piece. You kind of got to pay attention to that. Although No, so I know I have the, oh, this little bit here, Carol. I see what you're saying there, but I don't have the metal part to cut because I need to cut the center of that one out too. That's why I was going, oh no. And I just realized I'm gonna need it. So I'm gonna take a minute here and excuse me while I dig into my trash and see if I can find that because we are totally gonna need that here for our when I cut the, there it is. I got it. Okay. And it totally was in the trash. So I'm glad I took the minute to find it. Okay. Right there. That's staying there. And I'm not going to put it anywhere else. All right. So we won't worry about it on this because I already have one die cut out. But we do need one more cut here real quick. And that's where this is going to be helpful. And I'll show you that in just a second. I'm going to go ahead and save these letters anyway, even though, yes, live TV. My goodness. It's funny as I was so thinking about it when I was practicing getting ready and thinking, I'm going to lose that little piece. I'm going to lose it. And it's almost like because I thought of it, it had to happen, right? Okay, so to be smart on this one, I'm using the little bristles and busting out some of those little pieces here before, wait for it here, before I pop it out of the whole die cut piece. So by doing that, now I have almost everything out of this die cut. There's only a couple little tiny pieces I have to poke out there, so it makes my job so much easier. All right, get those out. I'm so glad I found that. So I'm thinking for the middle of the words on that floral one, again, I'm just playing with what sounds fun. I'm going to use some gold glitter cardstock. So I have that pulled out. Because I only need the letters, I'm only going to use a piece that's big enough just to fit behind the letters because I really don't care about the other detail right now for all the other bits and pieces. And I'm going to grab out my extra die cut piece, fortunately, that I have handy there. So now we've got this all ready to go too. Okay, all the scraps, and this time not that metal die cut piece because I see it right there. So before I throw anything in the trash, I'm going to look for that piece. And the same, Leah, I have done that so many times. Usually now the MISTI is the first place I look when I'm missing a die just because it sticks to the bottom and the back. This time my MISTI wasn't even on my desk, so I knew I couldn't blame that. And yes, I've done it with a stamp before and everything else. So this is just some gold glitter cardstock. And again, I just need it big enough. Hold on, I'm gonna, just so I don't forget, I'm gonna get those last two little tidbit pieces out of there. Okay, I'm gonna trim off the extra there. I never waste a scrap of glitter gold cardstock if I don't have to. And then I found for this, it actually works best for me. The glitter cardstock's hard for me to hold in place. So I often will just use a little bit of Scotch tape or something. Oh, and I'll make sure and put this on the right spot here. Just another little tidbit there. And then same thing, I'm going to use a little bit of Scotch tape here. I'm going to tape that important little centerpiece of the O. Fortunately, you could get away without it. I mean, it's not really ideal, but you could live without it if you did lose it. So, all right, pull that die cut machine back over here one last time. And this one with the gold glitter, we'll see how it does. This might be where I need the shim, but we'll see. Actually, it looks like it all die cut great there. Yep. Okay, sometimes gold glitter cardstock I find, and you know what, now that I think about it, my brain was confused anyway. I don't think I need that middle part of the O in the glitter cardstock anyway. So, okay, pull off my Scotch tape there and the ever so important little piece of that die. I'm going to set these aside right now. In fact, I'm going to just tape that die piece back in there. I'll clean out those pieces here, not make you sit and watch me clean all those little tidbits out because I don't think they'll matter right now. And scrape off the extras off my die cut thing there to put in there. Lisa, I love my Gemini Junior machine. I procrastinated so long before I finally gave in and got one. And once I did, I fell in love with it and thought, why in the world did I wait so long? So I really, really do love. Well, and I'm looking at the video too. I'm going to try, I think it's just the lighting. I closed my curtains because the sun was kind of beating in, but here in Washington, we might have had trouble with the last week too. We have so many fires in Washington right now, and the light outside's just so orange. I think that's why it looks so dark and dingy in here. So I apologize if my screen looks kind of wonky and not super beautiful. Okay, there's that beautiful hello on the white. And here's the other one. I've got a soft gray. I think that's what I like. I did a darker gray too, but I think I like that just in that soft gray. I've still got tape on my, that tape doesn't want to come off of me. Okay, got it. All right, so I think we're gonna go ahead and just adhere these on first. And then I'm pretty sure we should pop those letters up with foam adhesive, don't you think? Yes, and I know California is really bad too. Washington just, I think we had a bunch that kicked off all of a sudden. And really all at once yesterday, we had some crazy winds. And again, I know, and these are the kind of fires I think that usually happen in California. And we have so many, the areas where they were are so much less populated than California. So we are lucky that way. But I know good friends of ours, just using some liquid glue, and it looks like I need to open a new bottle because I think this one's about done. So give me a second here. I'm going to grab, I'm sure I have it here. Hold on. This will be the time I can't find my new replacement liquid glue. All right, well, I think I have one up here. Let's see if it'll come out or if it's, most of them kind of get blocked up when I have them sitting for a while. So get it open. Yeah, some friends of ours, they ended up with a really sudden evacuation. It was hot and dry, and there was a fire going, and the winds picked up. At one point, the wind shifted towards their house, and the head of the house, the dad, was there, and the winds, I think she said they picked up to 60 to 80 miles an hour, and it just was moving so fast that they had to evacuate. He had to evacuate real quick. They'd all left, but fortunately, their land was all, she said, burnt to a crisp. It looked like a moonscape. But their house and their outbuildings, they came home totally not expecting to find anything, and all of those had survived. So it was pretty amazing yesterday, just kind of watching all of that unfold and I know so many people weren't as fortunate, but and same in California. I know so many people, and it's everywhere. But yeah, today was the first day we really noticed the smoke kind of showing up over here. So, all right, I don't know if you could see what I was doing there. I wasn't really talking. I just put little tiny tidbits of glue on some of the key areas on there. It's kind of my quick way of not putting it on everything because that takes forever. And if you just hold down the main areas that need to be, it's kind of okay if these outer edges, I kind of like that little bit of dimension there, kind of popping it up a little. So I actually kind of like to enhance it a little bit here, as you can see. It's kind of an easy way to just add a little bit of something, a little bit of dimension without a whole bunch on there. So I don't kind of see that on there, how it pops up. All right, so let's go ahead and stick this one down too. And I'll do the exact same thing, and then we'll go ahead and pull out and start trimming foam adhesive into little tiny strips to add on there. And again, just little dots on all the areas. And if you do a small enough dot, it's not gonna squish out and get glue all over your card. So you could use a glue pen for this as well. Um, I feel like every time I use a glue pen, I end up with more glue on my fingers that makes everything want to just stick and come back with me anyway. So it's just quicker if I just go ahead and use this, and then I don't have to go wash my hands in between. You could do them with an adhesive sheet too. I actually thought about it, but I hadn't tested. I figured if I did that, I'd probably need to do it with a shim, a metal shim or something, because of the extra thickness that you'd be adding with the adhesive sheet there. Nice thing with liquid glue there too. Did you notice how I kind of didn't like where I had it? So I kind of jimmied it around a little bit. But yeah, you would end up probably wasting a lot of those sheets. So it just depends how much you want to spend. But there's enough areas on there. Again, I mean, you could kind of see me sticking it down there. It was pretty easy just to get it down. And with a good sturdy liquid adhesive like that, it's going to hold nice and sturdy. You're not going to have to worry about that at all. So, all right. So let's start trimming down our foam adhesive to start adding our letters on there, shall we? Okay, so the gold is going to go over here. Had to think for a minute there and remember what I was doing. Yes, I'm so glad to hear that Colorado is getting a little bit of break and some rain and snow in the cold. Okay, and I think I'm going to just slightly on purpose offset that so it adds a little bit of a shadow, kind of a drop shadow effect. Does that seem like a good idea? Okay, and then a little tiny bit. So this is the fiddly part. So, but we all know that it's worth it for that dimension, right? And I just ordered more foam adhesive, and I don't know, the last few times I've gotten it, I've been so frustrated because it felt like it was just so sticky and gumming up my scissors. Yes, dimension is life. But this last, I literally just got this and opened this up, I think yesterday, and it's like the old style that I loved. So I don't know what happened, but I will take it. I will take it for sure. Yes, we all know Laura's mantra. Dimension is life. And yes, the details. But this gives us that chatty time where I can kind of do this and I can sort of keep watching for questions or whatever if you have any. Oops, that piece is too big. So this is a good time to add those questions. And just so you know, I remembered today, so I won't get in trouble. I'm going to pull out, I'll pull it out here so we can start looking at the colors. We are gonna remember the bling today. I almost got in trouble last week because I nearly forgot to put bling on a card. And so I made sure to pull them out so I wouldn't forget this week. So nobody, certain brand of envelopes. I think a lot of people have, I just get simple, I make so many cards. I know there's some beautiful colored, kind of custom colored ones. Um, but I always tend to just go with the basic white, just because, again, I make so many cards that um, I do like the fun, pretty colors, but I don't use them that much. Okay, here is one fun little tidbit for you. A lot of times you can get away with. If you pull the backing off of foam tape, you can curve it around when you put it on something. I don't remember where I learned that, but it was like total mind-blowing light bulb moment for me. In the thin little strips like that. Just peel the backing off before you stick it down and then curve it around whatever it is you're sticking it onto, and it'll curve around, so it helps with the shape, kind of stuff like that. Okay, so we just about got, I think I really like that with the glitter. What do you guys think? I think that sets it off really well there. Okay, one more time, same thing. I always love to when I can get a 2-for-1 card like this as well. Kind of is a, just makes it even better. Okay. I should just trim a bunch of strips and then stick them all down and then peel them off and stick them in place. Then we get all of the, it's not kind of like an assembly line sort of thing going. A little more organized. It's not like I'm going to lose the place of the letters. There's only so many options on here. Okay, and I've got another little piece there. Use all these little scraps. Yes, 2-for-1. In fact, ultimately, I kind of even have more than that because I still have the hello, the main hello word from the white as well. So I could take that and layer that over something else. But I just, yeah, I do love when I can put the work in and use the negatives and the positives and kind of get away with everything all at once. So, right. And before, I did just remember here, so before I stick this down, I do need to add, I should have done it on the other one first. I have my little centers of my O's after all of that work. We could leave them out, but I figure I went that far to do them, digging through the trash to find my die. For goodness sake, we're going to actually use them, don't you think? Okay. So, same little tiny dab of liquid glue. And then I'm going to use my, for this, I'm going to use my reverse tweezers to set that in place, especially on this one because it's down in the center there. See, and you probably really can't even tell, but so I guess on this. Oh, and then I didn't, you know what? I'm not going to offset this one, especially since I just stuck that one down. Not offset. I'm really not going to offset. Okay, and then we'll set that one in place in the center. So actually, I know I said I should have done it first, but on this one I would have been crooked if I'd done it first because I needed to offset it. So because I set those letters in offset. On this one though, I'm just going to do them directly because I think it'll keep the framing around them a little better. And yes, Pauline, I actually had a stamp set up because I was debating on a secondary sentiment. So if you want suggestions for that, I don't know if I'll do that today, but the Simply Sentiments Hello, I thought that would be a perfect opportunity. Okay. Last little bit here. We're almost done. Promise. The H. Line that up. See, that probably didn't matter, but I think I actually reversed those. It's not even noticeable. But if I was going to be nitpicky, I would have done those L's in the right order so that the pattern line, no, you know what? I did do them right, I think. Or did I? I don't know. You almost can't tell because those L's are so separate. So, all right. So yeah, there's so many. I mean, you could add on hello birthday girl, hello from me to you, hello my favorite person, hello I'm just a thought away, um, have a sweet day, I miss our talks, hello over there. I mean, so many possibilities on that. So there we go. Here's this one with the hello, and there's this one. And what we need to do now is add some bling. Should we take, what time is it? We probably have time. Should we just go ahead and add those add-on sentiments now? What do you think? I'm thinking Heat Embossed in Black is kind of my go-to, so we could pick a couple and just put them on there real quick. I wasn't gonna, but I feel like if we have time, why not, right? Okay. I'm really liking the birthday girl one, and I'm just a thought away. So let's just go for it. It'll only take a few seconds, and then we only have bling to do, so, and we're making pretty good time today. Got my big stamp block. Let's stamp them. I could do this with the Misty too, but oh, Hello Beautiful for the gold glitter one. That would actually be, was that on there? Oh yeah. I think that one, I want to do the thinner strip ones. I could do that one, but it's going to be kind of, I don't know, I guess it'd be just a block, but I feel like I want to do the thin strip ones. Okay, so that one's done. I could switch to do, I don't know. I'm just going to stick with Birthday Girl. I always need birthday cards. I'm probably not the only one. Okay, ink that one up and stamp that in the embossing ink as well. Another nice thing here is that we can do both of these at the same time. So another part of that two-for card idea. Okay, shake off that extra. And quickly heat set those, and then we'll just trim them down. Yes, a little different than happy birthday. Like I said, I need so many birthday cards, and it's fun to be able to mix it up and do some different versions. Let's see, where did I put? Ah, there it is. Okay, I'm just going to set that over there. I'm not going to lose a stamp set today, too. The glue that I'm using, it is just a Lawn Fawn liquid glue. I use this one. I use a Gina K one quite a bit. Um, it's just an easy to apply. As long as you're just gentle on it, you can get pretty thin little dots of glue. Yes, glitter on letters is always fun. In fact, glitter is just always fun, but letters are kind of a perfect way to mix them on there. Okay, trim those down, get rid of the scraps. Okay, and I'm thinking I'm gonna put the birthday girl one on here. And one little trick I like to do a lot is I just trim these. Nothing too scientific, but just a little bit of an angle. Just makes them a little more interesting than plain blunt cuts. And it's quick and simple, and it just adds that a little fun touch. Okay. These, of course, have to be up on foam adhesive as well. I could pop these out and cut bigger piece of these, but figured this will work okay for this. Okay. Birthday girl. And I'm going to kind of put it so it just overlaps the bottom of those letters, because I think it kind of helps tie and pull it all together really well. Okay. And then, come on, that last little backing on the foam adhesive. Same thing, just pop it up so it just touches the bottom of those letters. I really like how that just kind of finishes those off. All right, and then the last finishing touch. Some bling, and my first thought is white on this one, but I also think pink would be really pretty, or even this really soft yellow on this one. And then on here, I have to see it on here. Sometimes I really love this kind of coppery gold color. Oh yeah, especially with those gold letters. That kind of helps pull all that together, I feel like. So I think we're going to go with that on there for sure. Kind of mix them around. Oops. And I always like to use all the 3 different sizes. And yes, I do apologize because I know that they are out of stock. Um, but I also know you can sign up and get notified when they do come back in stock. So that's kind of helpful as well. All right, I'm not going to use that big one there. I'm going to tuck that there. And maybe a little one here. Okay. I don't know. Maybe I only want the 3 on here. I'm always trying to decide. Now you can see just how much I fiddle with these. I almost feel like I might just, whoops, slipped inside the card there. I feel like I have something rattling on my desk. All right, I think I'm going to just stick with just the 3 in each corner there. I could put more on there, but I think 2 different boxes, Sonia. One of them is these, which are the jewels. The other one is crystals. And on that one, they're these ones have a flat back and they're iridescent, so they're easier to kind of adhere down. But at the same time, you can still do it with the other one. Sorry, my brain's not thinking very well here. I'm going to do those in different sizes, and then I'll do the yellow in the other 2. Okay. As I'm doing that there, I'm realizing, oh, there, yeah. That'll work. I need one more little bitty one. Okay. Let me pull out, oh, I'm so not sure right away at all. So here are the crystals. And let me show you kind of the difference between them. Get a good dark color that you can see. So they kind of have a partially flat back on them. It's a little more faceted. It's kind of like the front of the jewels. And then the back has a little bit of a point in it. I don't know if you can kind of see that on there. So they're great for shakers and other things, but I do put these on card fronts. They just kind of leave a pokey front up. So they're better for hand delivering or popping into like a package or a box or something like that. So that's kind of my best advice there on that one. All right, I could pile a bunch more bling on there, but then you're just gonna sit here with me all day while I fiddle with them and decide where to put them. So, and it's funny on here, you almost can't tell on the gray the variation of the color on there. So you really could have just picked one color and put it on and it would have worked just fine. But I still think it's fun, just that little hint as it catches the light, it's gonna, you're gonna see the little bit of difference on there, I think. Okay, and this is my handy dandy little embellishment tool. I have a couple of them I use pretty regularly. This one's from Studio Katia, and the other one's a crystal katana. They're both very, very similar, but okay, let me rearrange those now. I shuffled them around when I moved that. Get enough glue there. Okay. This one's got a new tip on it, so sometimes it hugs the bling a little more than the other, so I have to make sure it releases before I let go of it. And yes, I kind of like them both and I use them interchangeably. This one I often use when I'm doing the crystals because they're a little bit heavier. So that little extra stickiness works well. Um, but here's the crystal katana and I use that one a lot as well. All right, our cards are finished. And thank you so much to Julie for her beautiful inspiration on these. I absolutely love this design. I think it's so super duper fun. Neon green tip, that's fun. I know I thought about that, but I was afraid I'd get little bits that would stick to things. I think the crystals are still in stock. Leah can probably answer that one. Um, I don't know for sure off the top of my head, but I know the jewels are out of stock. But um, as Leah mentioned, make sure and put them the out of stock notification. Then you'll see when they come back in stock. All right, I'm going to give just a minute here. I'm just kind of talking and waiting and cleaning up my desk a little so I can put some things away while I wait for Leah to announce a winner. And just to recap, I will be back live on Facebook this week. That's on Thursday morning in Pacific time zone, early afternoon in Eastern time. So depending on where your time zone is. And I'll be using some of the new release that'll be going live next week. And then next week, we're taking a week off from both YouTube and Facebook Live. So just giving you that heads up so you don't come looking for us. But then we'll be back that next week after that, which will be, let me look at the calendar. So the 22nd and the 24th is when we'll be back. And there we go, at perfect timing. I see Leah announced a winner. Liam, Liam Hurst. I got the name right there. You are today's $15 gift card winner. So I will see you hopefully again on Thursday. And I hope everyone has a lovely week. Can't wait to see you then. Bye bye.